Welcome to the Mandcave 2022, y'all. The only podcast hosted by two best friends with nothing in common except their names. I'm Mandy Kaplan.
And I'm Andy Fabian, y'all. And every week we test the limits of our friendship by arguing over movies, books, the latest trends, and of course, Mandy's fantastic new catchphrases. Grab a couch. Let's get to it. I love that you took y'all.
I'm feeling it.
I'm from Texas. You know I love.
This is the new me. This is the 2022 me.
I'm really liking new Mandy. Not that I wasn't a fan of the old, but this Mandy's something. There's something softer, very playful. You're doing a
more
great
relaxed.
job. Yeah.
Like this Mandy, unlike 2021 Mandy. This Mandy,
who was a drag. I'm glad we can all say it. Yeah.
This one isn't mad that we did a whole podcast that wasn't recorded last week. This one can just let that go and not bring it up.
Oh, okay, wait. I genuinely want to know, have you been chewing on that all week? Because you are very graceful.
No. It's fine. Technical difficulties happen.
Yeah, it was a terrible thing. If anybody should be upset, it should be me because I assigned you West Side Story. So listeners, Fandies, we recorded an entire podcast about West Side Story. And then when we went to go upload said recording, my machine did not work. And it's a shame. It's a treasure lost to time forever.
We sang the whole 45-minute episode. We sang it through.
Yeah.
A la Sondheim and Bernstein.
And I did a game.
Amazing.
I was so funny in that pod. It was some of my best work, you know?
It was, and it's lost forever. So we have to talk about West Side Story because we did, in fact, go to the movie theater before Omicron had its field day with our lives.
Mm-hmm. With the children.
We went with our children and with the good husband.
With the good husband and the cozy seats that you get to recline in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these particular seats, I don't want to brag, but heat. Two levels of heat that I was enjoying.
I know.
I
didn't get any of the heat. But speaking of heat in movie theaters, it reminds me, I was the last time I was in a movie with you and Jeremy, it was probably the night that you guys hooked up.
Fell in love.
Whatever.
We don't say hooked up in case family's listening.
Okay.
We only went to second base that first night.
Well, it's only your family listening anyway. So.
It was true. You were on our first date.
Yeah.
Because we
were seeing the movie Sideways.
We did.
And I was laughing at a joke and I looked sideways. And the two of you are not laughing at all. You're staring at the movie like your eyeballs depend on it. And you're not moving and you're not speaking. You're staring straight ahead, but you're holding hands. And I was like, oh. And then I still didn't get the hint.
Yeah. No, you got it. You knew. You were just, it was wonderful. You are part of our throuple. You are forever part of our marriage.
Yeah. But nobody tried to finger me during West Side Story. So that was disappointing. It was just a normal.
Sorry.
It's okay. But anyway, back to the movie. Yes.
It was loved West Side Story. Yeah. For me, it was perfection. I loved everything they did with it.
Yep.
Having Rita Moreno be such a massive part of the movie, and it was like a love letter to her. And I was thrilled with every frame of this perfect adaptation. I love it.
Yes. And it's a good thing that we trashed that podcast because it was just us agreeing because I loved it too. I loved, what's his name? Ansel Elgort? Is that his name?
Yes.
Oh,
something like that.
Yeah.
Ansel
Elgort. Anyway, I loved him as Tony. I loved Maria. I thought Anita was a phenom. I did not know that she was the bullet in Hamilton. But her dancing was what really struck me. The choreography, we agree, was
perfection. Justin Peck, the choreographer. Now, one of our listeners, Jimmy, contacted us and said he didn't like Ansel Elgort. Saying it wrong. Elgort. But, and Jeremy felt the same way. But I loved him and thought he was the perfect Tony. Tony's supposed to feel a little stiff and a little reserved. Yeah. And I thought he was just incredible. Yeah. I loved him. And I loved that they inserted him into the number cool, which was like, if you're a purist like me, you're like, why is Tony there when they're doing cool? But then it worked. It was smart. And I loved it.
So this is good. So for anybody who might be interested in seeing it or hasn't seen it, if you're a purist, you like it because the changes worked for you. If you're somebody like me who has no memory of it, it also works. And by the way, I'm going to even go so far as to say if you don't totally love musicals, you will love this one because it's such a movie. Like, it's so visually stunning. Like Steven Spielberg, have you heard of this kid? I think he's got a career. I mean, he framed every shot. Like, it was just beautiful. Beautiful. And Marita Moreno, I love her and I want to work with her on everything. I want to put her in everything. Is she available? Like, I worry that she maybe, I don't know how her health is, but like, I want to put her in at least 3 movies.
She seemed like she was in very good health in this movie. Very active and just a gorgeous performance.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
God.
Yep.
Yeah, and the way your girls cried, because I teared up and cried a bit. Your girls were like blubbering, sobbing.
Yeah.
Delilah was traumatized for life, and I love her for it. And it was just a great experience.
She was. When the knife fight happens, I had to act like a mom. You know, when your kids are in the front seat, and you have to slam on the brakes. I had to like put my arms on their chest.
I just have Casey wear a helmet in the car at all times.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
why I don't have to worry about that.
Why do you do it when we're like playing games and watching movies too? Because I thought that was weird.
Safety
I thought maybe
first.
Yeah. Okay.
Safety first.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they reacted. My kids get so involved.
I love it.
In movies. Like, and it's funny because they had that reaction like, oh my God, like somebody actually got stabbed. And I always have to do this. I always have to stop and go, hey, it's just a movie. It's not real. It's not real. Okay. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. Like, we have to distance a little bit.
Right.
Like
the other people in the theater, by the way, were not happy with that speech you were making. But
I was like, turn up the lights, everybody. Turn it up. Let's see. These are all just
the Fabians need a break.
That's right.
But Casey inherited from me that he watches everything with a critical eye, as people heard from the Annie Live podcast.
Yeah.
Which they didn't hear if they are not members of the Mandcave.
My God, they're kicking themselves right now if they didn't get that
It's not
for
too
Christmas.
late to join and become a Mandcave member.
It's the easiest thing in the world. It's just a website away.
You go to mandcave.com/Fandy and you can hear a bonus episode with our kids, with Casey really delving into some thoughtful criticism of Annie Live. But he watches the movie with a critical eye and your girls live it. They are there with their whole hearts and souls.
Yeah. In fact, we were watching Mrs. Doubtfire, which I think you recommended to me as a possibility.
Yeah.
Great. I hadn't seen it in a while. That is a very sad movie. That is an adult movie. I mean, the kids enjoyed it. Delilah thought it was hilarious.
Right. Boobs light on fire. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious. And Robin Williams is adorable and it's great. But it's a very sad movie. And Abby had to walk out of the room. But it wasn't because of the sadness. It was because of the nervous situation of him lying and pretending and him fighting with his wife and all that. Like, him doing this ruse made her so uncomfortable. She had to leave. I was like, why would you love comedy. You love farce. It's farce,
right.
you know? And she was like, it just made her the situation of a family breaking up and then him lying like that made her too uncomfortable. Funny,
but
right?
That's a kid that's never going to sneak out. That's a kid that's never going to type up her own report card like one of us did. It's me. Typed up my own report card once. My mom still doesn't know that.
Oh my God. I got such good grades. I never would have done that. But oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you really? I don't see you that way at all.
I know. I used to be a badass, but now I'm not. But
you're still kind of a badass.
You can have faith that Abby's not going to be able to lie to you, right?
Yeah.
She's going to be the kid who's like, Mom, come get me. There's drinking here. Well, Delilah is going to call you like, Mom, they arrested me again. They picked me up for shoplifting.
Oh, yeah. No, I find candy wrappers hidden in her room. Like, I'm like, you don't even...
One of those.
Oh, God. And I'm like, you don't even have to hide this. Like, you don't have to hide it, you know?
No, but it's the thrill of hiding it.
Oh, I know. Oh,
getting away with it.
Yeah, no, she's really going to be a handful for us. But, you know, I made this rule, and we'll see whether it backfires. You don't get in trouble. You get in trouble for lying.
Yes.
If you lie to me, and I will always find out. That's what I tell my kids, because my mom told me and I believed it.
Right.
if I find out that you lied to me, that is what the punishment will be. If you can confess to me that you did something you're not supposed to do or you made a mistake, I won't even punish you. There might be consequences, but they're nothing close to what you get if you lie.
Which is why I told you I shopped at Walmart instead of pretending it was Ralph's. Because I know the rule and I always want to come clean and be honest with you. I want to live an honest life.
Now we have to shoot a short film where we run into each other at Walmart. That conversation.
But of course, you're there organizing a protest.
Right, of
course. Infiltrating big business.
I am loving this. Do we have film producers that listen to this podcast? Because get on it, guys.
We're about to find out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So even though I started 2022 relaxed and
we all
making
thought
fun of you for not recording the podcast.
Yeah.
I made you watch Squid Game.
You sure did. You sure did.
Sure did.
And I was angry. And I will say, one of our Fandies was also very angry with you.
Really?
Yes. Her words were, "That is just mean."
You must name this Fandy.
Catherine Lounsbury is on my side 51% of the time. We had a dinner with some of our Fandies in a very Omicron safe fashion. It was a listener dinner, if you think about it.
It was.
Everyone at the
except for one.
Except for one. Everyone at the table listened to the podcast. We got to talk about it. She thinks you're very mean for assigning Squid Cave.
Now, the reason I chose it is because it is the number one show on Netflix, or it was. I don't know if it still is. It's their biggest success ever.
Yeah.
It's part of this K-pop movement that is so popular. Korean culture, Korean shows, Korean music. It's so zeitgeist. People refer to it all the time. I know it's violent. So I was holding off I was like, I'm never going to see that. It's too violent.
Yep.
But I thought you and I are supposed to be aware of what's trending in pop culture for the podcast.
You and I are different that way. Who cares? But no, I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm kidding. You're right.
So I chose it. Really, it was not just to be mean to you.
No.
I wanted us to be aware of this.
Sure.
And Squid Games, for anybody who doesn't know, for the one person who's like, what's that? It's a Korean drama in which people who are down on their luck and find themselves in debt are invited to participate in the Squid Games. And they are kidnapped from their homes and brought to this place. And the stakes of the games are, if you win, you can win billions of dollars. If you lose, you are killed on the spot. So,
but see, now you should have said spoiler alert, because I don't think people that's a huge part of the reveal of the pilot.
Right. But I think everyone knows at this point. Didn't you know that going in?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think?
Well, I have to say, I went into it with my thumb hovered over the fast forward button because I thought
I watched all of Rod Stewart. How dare you?
I fast forward through really super graphic, violent things because I'm like, I don't need to see it. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, I don't ever fast forward through the lover scenes, by the way. So, I really will never watch another episode, but I really liked it. I liked it up until the super violent part. And I had no idea it was dubbed, which I thought was kind of hilarious. And I kept thinking, did I watch the wrong version?
Yeah.
What?
You watched a dubbed version?
Yes, it's dubbed. It's a Korean TV show and they're speaking English, but they're not speaking English. They're speaking Korean.
I watched it with subtitles in Korean.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know why my TV did that. It didn't ask me what I wanted.
Which I found hilarious. I started to write down a time code for a scene. And then I was like, what? We're going to play. I'm going to say, Pete, play it. And people are going to hear people shouting in Korean.
Oh, now that's interesting.
I didn't write down any time codes.
Okay, so I watched a dubbed version, which was really weird at first. But then
took you out?
At first it did. I thought, I was like, now I'm doubly mad because this is going to be awful. And it's dubbed. And so now you've wasted an hour of my time. And caused me emotional distress. But I gotta say, it felt to me like a Stephen King novel. I liked it better than Parasite, which everybody loved. I didn't really care for Parasite. It felt like one of those. I actually loved Stephen King when I was in high school. I read like the Running Game, I think it is, and Thinner. All those, like the gypsy does the curse, and these sort of weird mystical figures come in, and it's light, kind of horror light, I would say.
Yeah,
it felt horror light to me. It was only really super graphic towards the end.
Right.
So I liked it.
I am shocked that you liked it. I am more shocked that I liked it. And that we are like agreeing on Squid Game.
That's really weird.
This is all, we are through the looking glass. I don't even know what to do because I was so excited for you to be like, it was so bad. I hated it. I fast forwarded. And I was going to be like, I actually liked it.
Nope.
So this is the end of the episode. Tune in next week.
Actually, I think we're going to rebrand. Guys, we're going to take a break and rebrand. We'll call it Love Fest.
We're going to brand cave.
Yeah. Rebrand cave. Oh, nice.
Yes.
I like that.
Thanks. I thought it was very, before I sat down to watch it, I thought it was a cheesy production. It was such a high level production that I was blown away. By the way, the first half hour is boring and depressing and so sad. This guy is just like, everything is going wrong. I called it the darkest night of the soul. And I'm spelling soul, SOEUL. Boom. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. No.
Did I spell soul right?
You just won podcast today.
Thank you. When I wrote that down, I was like, and I'm alone. Like, I can't share this victory.
Oh, my God.
I was so proud. It's so tough to watch.
Yeah.
And did I spell soul right? Is it SOUEL or SOE?
I think it's EOUL, I think.
Oh, well, I'm a moron. I'm clever, but I'm not so good at spelling. So
I apologize. You had to rewrite your report card. I mean, there's still some differences between us.
Yeah. So yeah, that first half hour, I was repulsed. I hated the lead character so much and all his choices and gambling away the birthday money for his daughter.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, God, I hated him.
Yeah, he's a wreck. But did you like it? Like the show? Or you were so mad at the lead character? Do you know what I mean? Like, was it a critical, I hate this show? Or,
the first half hour, I was like, ugh, it's the same moment over and over.
Yeah, yeah.
And it could have been 5 minutes of like, he doesn't have money. He's losing his daughter. Now he has to go.
Yeah, that's
to the games.
Yeah,
because once we went to the games, the minute the van turned on, when he gets in the van voluntarily, and then they get put to sleep by like a fog in the van, I was like, I'm down with this. This is creepy and fun and different, and I was so into it. But that whole lead up was tough to sit through.
I liked the little girl.
Yeah,
and I suffered from a little bit of, I got a little lost. Like I suffered from a little bit of that. When he went to the fish market, I thought that was his mom. So I'm still sort of damaged in that way.
Right.
It was,
that was good setup. That was the mom. He asked about her son and she's like, oh, he's so successful. Yeah. He's doing this. And then he bumps into him at the Squid Games.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I thought your life was going great. So yeah. I liked that.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I just was confused because I thought the woman at the fish market was his mom who was working.
Right.
So and then the next scene is the mom. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So it all did make sense eventually. But I thought, great setup. It was interesting. It was a little bit to your point about the first part. I also thought when he meets the guy in the subway, the mysterious guy with the briefcase, that was just creepy and great. He was so handsome.
Yes. Oh. Don't you think he's the guy? He's the guy.
Oh, the guy in the mask.
In the mask watching this. He's the creator of the Squid Games, I think.
He could be. I don't know. It seemed like grunt work. He was out there recruiting. There were 456 prisoners.
But by the back of his head that we saw in the last shots, like him drinking scotch and watching the Squid Games, it looked like the back of that guy's head.
Oh,
and he's very handsome. Yeah. If anybody has seen all of the episodes and can solve that for us, please let us know. At Mandy_Kaplan_Clavens or at MandyFab.
At MandyFab.
On Instagram. Please reach out. I'm seriously want to know, but I can't watch another episode. It was so disturbing.
It is. But interestingly enough, there was a part of me that thought, I think it's just going to get worse. But there was a part of me that thought, well, could I watch another episode? But here's the issue that I have with Squid Game. Even though I like the creepiness, if it was a movie, I might be able to sit through the whole thing because it was interesting visually and it's such a creepy premise and the mystery of it all. Like and by the way, that's a fucked up idea. They play red light, green light. And there's a giant weird doll.
Like a Bob's Big Boy doll?
Yeah.
With pigtails?
Yeah. That does the red light, green light. And if you move after she says red light, you're killed. You're shot. She has big guns and it's like, it's a really creepy and effectively weird because it's such a weird way to kill people. Edge
of the seat, right?
Yeah.
You're sitting there like so tense watching it.
And that's the weird thing. I don't know if it's because it was so stylized, like it bothered me, but it didn't bother me as much as other things.
The violence felt Tarantino-esque to me, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
When you shoot and blood spurts out, it's not as violent as like hand-to-hand combat or people suffering but I'm not going to watch anymore, but I
was more disturbed by the knife in West Side Story.
Yeah.
Because I was invested in that moment,
Right.
Like in the weird way they set it up that none of the main people that you've come to know are going to get killed, obviously, in this first one. So there was this weird. Yeah. So I almost would watch another one, except here's my issue. I don't know who marketed it this way or how this happened, but so I was watching it last night and Abby can't sleep and she comes down and obviously I pause it and I say, you can't watch this. This is Squid Game. And she's like, oh yeah, all the kids in my class, a bunch of kids at school have watched this.
This was my main topic. Yeah.
And I was like, what? And they couldn't come as Squid Game for Halloween, but they wanted to.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I know about it. She goes, I can't watch it. I would never, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, no, you're never going to watch this. But is it marketed to kids?
I don't know if it's marketed, but I think that some lazy parents are watching it with their kids or just letting their kids watch it. And I think it is appalling. It's everything that's wrong with society to have a kid watch this, I think.
Yeah, the first episode is a mass shooting.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's fun or cool for a kid. Like, even though it's this sci-fi, otherworldly kind of thing, it's not appropriate.
No.
Wow.
No, not appropriate. And Squid Game was like the number one costume. You're right. I mean, I wrote, why are kids watching or allowed to watch? Why does this even appeal to adults? We are a fucked up society. That was my note. Because like anybody who's like, yeah, let's watch a bunch of people get murdered, people who are down on their luck and leaving behind loved ones and families. Like who wants to watch this?
Yeah. It is very miserable.
Oh, God. So although I thought it was really well done and I loved the set design and the world they created, I am appalled that people let their kids watch it. I really am.
Yeah. Now, did you like Killing Eve?
Yeah.
That was pretty violent, right?
Yeah.
But I watched
I did a lot of, through my fingertips.
Yeah.
I don't like, I like the premise of something like that.
Yeah.
Like the idea that she's a cold-blooded killer, but sometimes she seduces them or sometimes she gets to be their friend. And then that was all interesting.
Yeah.
But the actual killings, I had to.
Yeah, me too. And I think in a weird way, I hate saying this because I do not want to support this show. You know what I mean? And I don't want any parents to think it's okay to let their kids watch it. We agree on that. Yeah. But I am intrigued by the story enough. And that dubbing, you got to experience that. That's just good fun.
I will. I'll watch a few minutes with the dubbing.
It's really bizarre, but I would do it again. Yeah.
Now, if you were invited to something and because all these people go there willingly and it's creepy, they all wake up from their fog in matching Tony Soprano green tracksuits.
Yeah.
In like military style barracks.
Yeah.
And they wake up and then these weird people in red hoodies and no faces walk in and explain to them, like, you can leave now if you would like. You don't have to participate. You can go. I would have been out of there so fast. Would you have stayed?
Well, They set up a thing. I love this because, as a screenwriter, I think you get told, oh, money's not strong enough. That's too easy, But look, those people have money problems. They're probably going what they set up so well with the main character. Maybe they did too much, but they did set it up well that he's going to die. He's going to be murdered.
Right.
If he doesn't figure out a way. And he has such a gambling problem. There's no way he could possibly, even the money that he makes, he gives away to his mom and he's going to go spend it. Like, he has a problem. So when you set that kind of thing up, these people are like, I thought of it almost like an AA meeting. I know that sounds terrible, but they're at their bottom. They've all bottomed out and they're at the place where they need this money so badly they would do anything. So maybe it's weird that some people didn't. Maybe some people left and we just didn't know it.
I mean, no one left that we saw.
They didn't show anybody leaving. Yeah.
And you have been knocked unconscious or, right? You've been rendered unconscious. Right. You wake up in this creepy, creepy world, alternate world. I think a lot of people would have left.
You know what? I think you're right. You are right. In the world of, now that I think about it, the reality. But see, that's what I mean. This whole thing is so heightened. It's so almost done. I don't know how they do this, but it's almost done in a fun way that you didn't get the grit. It's shiny, right? You don't get how weird, how it smells, the looks on people's faces, how it's done in such a cartoony, almost comical way.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. But you're right. No, the reality of the situation, if I was gassed and put in a weird outfit, I would run screaming.
I equated it to like rushing a fraternity. And you're abused and tortured and mentally and physically, treated terribly. And you stay with it. And that, at least, the end result. This, they didn't really even know the end result. They were just like, where are we? Let's give this a shot. I would never put myself, I mean, granted, I have a blessed life and I'm not in that position, but people put themselves through a lot of terrible, terrible shit.
I think it was also very interesting that they set it up with really hard slapping, like consistent, long bouts of slapping. So it is physical abuse. Like they get, gassed. So it's not like they wake up thinking, oh, this is going to be a mind game. They know this could get violent, but I will say, and you may have known this before you watched it, I did not know they were going to get shot.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I did not know that.
And I think no one physically told me that, but I think that I was clear when they were like, if you don't win, you are eliminated.
Yeah.
I think I got where it was going all along.
I thought that, but I thought no, because I don't know. Then I went into...
Who would do that? Who would write that? Who would watch that?
Well, right. And also, it was like, they can't shoot people legally just in the world, right? What did they sign that says, oh, I can kill you and that's fine?
Yes, they were signing over the rights to their bodies. That's what those documents were.
But so that means I can murder you? Really? Is that a thing in Korea?
Well, this is fiction. I don't think that's a thing.
No.
He signed it with the thug, right? He signed over his physical body, to buy another month of time with that thug, the loan shark. So
I'm going to check in.
I think they were all lining up and signing. Everybody signed a waiver, basically saying you can do whatever you want with my body.
We have a Korean PTA at my school. I'm gonna talk to those ladies the next time I'm volunteering and be like, hey, seriously though, how much of this reflects?
I can't wait to see how many people you offend in one conversation over one cruller.
But I'm like, did the grandmother look like the lady in the shop to you too? Or is that just...
Okay.
All right. No.
Are we ready to give it manned jobs, or is there more you want to say?
No. I feel like we can definitely give it man jobs and move on.
Okay.
I'm going to give it, God, I probably would have given it 0 because it made me so mad that I knew kids were watching it.
Yeah.
But I think I'd give it 3 because it really sucked me in and it was something that I was determined to hate.
Me too.
Yeah.
I would give it 3. But it's really only the second half. you're welcome, Fandies. Listen to this and then just start at like minute 30. You don't even have to watch the first half. Just he's down on his luck.
No, you might miss the daughter. And I really liked the horse racing bit too.
Ooh, so depressing and boring.
That's why I never tell you about my money problems. That's the response I get.
I'm heartless.
Yep.
I think everybody who knows me knows that.
Yep.
Yep. Mandcave is a production of True Story FM. Engineering by Pete Wright. Music by Ian Post.
And if your podcast app allows ratings and reviews, do us a favor. Will you please just put a bunch of stars on there if you're feeling it? Or give us a review. Reach out to us. It helps us. You can tell us what you want to hear and what you like and dislike. And, it builds a bridge, people.
I heard Spotify's allowing that now, like allowing reviews on Spotify.
Oh, fantastic.
So for all of you people who say, oh, I don't have Apple Podcasts, if you're listening on Spotify, leave us 5 stars. And if you can write a review, I'm not sure, but I've heard that.
Set a trend.
You can join us on Discord by going to mancave.com/Discord, another way to talk to us and get our brilliance in your lives every day. I already told you about how to become a member for the secret Discord channel.
Yes, but what they don't know about, well, they probably do. Guys, seriously, my whole family now, by the way, my husband and my sister and my niece have all now requested the sweatshirt version of a Mandcave t-shirt because
they're so nice.
Yeah, they're really soft and they're showy. I think the black is very slimming. So you can go to mancave.com/merch and get fun travel mugs and sweatshirts too and look cool.
Please do all this stuff, everybody. We want to stop begging.
We love you and we love hearing from you. So thank you for people who've been telling us about what you think of the show. It's really nice.
Yes, especially people who disagree with Fabian.
So few of them. All right, so what do you got for me?
I wanted to do something with childhood games because the whole point of Squid Games is that it's like these innocent sounding childhood games that the stakes are really high.
Okay, see, I thought you were going to give me a really hard test and then if I'm eliminated, you have a line of people waiting to co-host with you. No?
No. So I looked up some childhood games and I was amused by some of the names of childhood games. So I made a list of some funny sounding childhood game names, and then I added a few of my own. So your job is to tell me if it's real or if it's Real Housewives of San Fernando Valley, me coming up with it. Are you ready?
Yep.
So let's start with Blind Dinosaur.
I don't even know what that game could be. No, that's not real.
You are correct. I'm impressed. Michelangelo's Madhouse.
That's Michelangelo's Madhouse. Are we talking board games? Or are we talking just like play in the yard games?
It's a mix.
Okay.
I didn't specify on my search. I just did like.
I'm going to say Michelangelo's Madhouse is real.
You're going to say what? It's real. It is.
Okay.
You are 2 for 2. I don't care for that. I was hoping to stump you. What about Farkle?
That's real.
You know Farkle?
I've heard of it.
Oh, wow. That's full disclosure. My family, my extended family on my mom's side, we call ourselves the Farkles and we all have code Farkle names for each other.
Oh, what is it a dice game? Is it a card game?
I don't really know. I just saw that it was a game and I was like, Farkle is a game? It's my family name.
Oh, it's not related.
No, we just happen to be the Farkles. It's a long story. I won't go into it.
Wow.
Llama Drama.
That sounds real.
That is real. You're very good at this.
Well, obviously, do you know any llamas? I mean, that's no joke.
I mean, I didn't put Hungry Hippos on here because we all know that's real, but I had never heard of llama drama. What about Sweep the Leg Tag?
That is hilarious, but that is all you.
All me.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
You're so good at this.
By the way, Cobra Kai is like #1 on Netflix. Did you know that? Do you watch that show?
Not Squid Games? No.
No, Cobra Kai is like everybody loves Cobra Kai.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm feeling maybe an assignment coming up.
Yep.
Jumping jelly beans, also known as rabbit fights.
Jumping jelly, also known as rabbit fights? I don't know if you would have put in a also known as on one that you made up. So I'm going to say it's real.
It is fake.
Oh!
It is all me.
God, good for you. Good for you. Way to misdirect. Yep.
Thanks. Touch and feel boxes.
That's you.
That's real.
What? No.
It was, now granted, it was for like,
right,
like babies and toddlers, right? Like you put something in a box and they touch and feel it. And I couldn't resist touch and feel boxes.
Really nice.
That might have been the genesis of this game because I saw that and I was like, what?
That's very funny. Oh my God.
Sock basketball.
Oh, we're not closing with touch and feel boxes. That was great. Sock basketball. That's real.
That is real.
Yeah.
In my house, we used to have sock fights. We still do. We roll up the socks and throw them at each other.
Did you ever do sock puppets?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, not never. I've done them in my life, but
there was a lot of that in my house. A lot of hand puppets. The Mr. Bill and the yeah.
Yeah. And then the last one is, whose thumb is this?
I think that's you.
Of course it is.
But you never know, right? Whose thumb is this?
Thumb is this?
Oh,
I thought of that and I was tickled.
Want to give a shout out to, you're not done. Is there more?
I'm done.
Okay.
I wanted to end on whose thumb is this?
Yeah, that's a good closer.
Thanks.
Or opener, as the kid, whatever. Depends. You got some great thumb stories. We'll have to tell those at some point. Don't you think? Okay, she's not taking the opening, folks.
Maybe I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah, all of a sudden she can't record.
Maybe that part won't be recorded.
I want to give a shout out to the period game that my kids play and love.
Right.
It's a real game. It's a board game that teaches girls about their periods, and it's a really fun thing. And they play with their with boy friends and girlfriends and family, and it's really great. Patrick knows all of the lingo now.
Great. I love it.
It's a great game. Yeah, you guys should pick it up.
What do you got for me?
Oh, right. I'm giving you an assignment.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to watch... Well, we're going to watch The Lost Daughter.
The Lost Daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is like a buzzy award film.
Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's her feature debut. I've heard great things about it. And it shouldn't cause you any anxiety because you have a son. You know, I'm the one who's going to suffer. Right. You know?
Wait, then could we watch Not Without My Daughter, which is a title that cracks me up? That Sally Field movie from like 1990.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything that Sally Field's in. Mrs. Doubtfire, for example, is, that's great.
All right.
Okay. All right. I'll see you next week.
All right. Love you.
Love you.